My dear students, good morning. This is Deepak Kumar, and today I shall be taking up the chapter, the poem Wind from your main textbook. The poem Wind is written by Subramania Bharti. I have already explained the poem in the online class. Today I shall be discussing with you some of the important question and answers along with the theme of this poem. So let's start. My dear students, the theme of the poem is the poem Wind inspires us to face the challenges thrown at us with grit and firm determination. We should be strong enough to face all the hardships of life with courage. Wind symbolizes problems and obstacles that we all face and go through at some point of time in our lives. The poem is a satire on human weakness and the power of the strong humans. Okay? My dear students, now let me give you answers to NCERT questions. Thinking about the poem. What are the things the wind does in the first stanza? Answer. In the first stanza, the wind breaks the shutters of the windows. It blows so forcefully that it scatters the papers, throws the books from the shelves, and also tears the pages of the books. To add to the woe, it brings rain once again. Question number 2. Have you seen anybody winnow a grain at home or in a paddy field? What is the word in your language for winnowing? What do people use for winnowing? Answers may vary, my dear students. Okay, let me give you the sample answer. Winnowing means separating the grain from their outer covering called chaff. Winnowing is done by letting the grain wheat fall gently from a cane container while a strong wind or fan is blown. In Hindi it is called varsana. 3. Question number 3. What does the poet say the wind god winnows? Answer. The poet says that the wind god destroys everything weak that come in its way. The weak crumbling houses, doors, rafters, wood, bodies, lives and hearts, and crushes them all. 4. What should we do to make friends with the wind? Answer. We should make strong houses with firm doors. We should also make ourselves physically and mentally strong by building strong, firm bodies and be steadfast. Question number 5. What do the last 4 lines of the poem mean to you? Answer. In the last 4 lines, the poet inspires us to face the hardships in our lives bravely. Wind symbolizes the challenges that come our way. The poet further adds that the wind not only extinguishes weak fires, but it assists the strong fires to burn more brightly. Metaphorically, the poet means to say in times of adversity, those who want to survive will accept all problems as a challenge, whereas those who expect others to help them will be crushed to death. It is aptly said, God helps those who help themselves. 6. How does the poet speak to the wind, in anger or with humor? You must also have seen or heard of the wind crumbling lives. What is your response to this? Is it like the poet's? Answer. The poet speaks to the wind in anger. The strong winds are known to cause damage on the land as well as on sea. Very strong wind can turn and sink ships. On land, they can play havoc with lives as well as on natural and man-made things. However, I feel that the wind, when harnessed, can be brought into various uses like generating electricity, moving turbines, and turning windmills. The wind is responsible for bringing rain and cools the atmosphere after the scorching heat of the sun. Okay, now some in-text questions, short answer questions. Number 1. Why does the poet appeal to the wind to come softly? Answer. The poet appeals to the wind to come softly as it is doing more harm than good. It has broken the shutters of the windows and entered the rooms. As a result, the books on the shelf have been thrown down and its pages have been torn. The loose papers that were kept neatly have been scattered all over. Question number 2. Why is the poet affected when the wind has brought rain again? Answer. The poet is affected when the wind has brought the rain again, as it is now splashing into the house through the broken windows. The books and the scattered papers lying on the floor are therefore getting wet and spoilt. Question number 3. Why should we build strong houses? Answer. We should build strong houses to protect ourselves from the elements of nature like the wind, rain, and sun. In other words, we should make ourselves mentally and physically strong so that we can face all the challenges of life with confidence. Question number 4. How does the wind make fun of the weak? Answer. The poet says that wind makes fun of all weaklings as they are too weak to protect themselves. It appears that the wind enjoys suppressing and destroying the weak who do not have the courage to face the hardships of life. The wind breaks down all weak structures made by man to protect himself, just to see how man will try to survive. Question number 5. What is the symbolism of wind? Answer. Some have perhaps witnessed a strong wind knock a nest out of a tree or rip leaves or branches off a tree, but not the wind itself, as it is considered to be the vital breath of the universe. Wind has been symbolized here as the agent that rattles our equilibrium. Those who are physically and mentally weak will get destroyed in times of adversity, whereas the strong will survive. The strong will reassess the problems that have caused the damage and find a solution. The weak will just cry and blame the wind and the circumstances. Question number 6. What is the theme of the poem, Wind? Answer. The theme of the poem Wind is that we should have a strong body and mind so that in times of adversity or difficulties we are able to combat all odds. We should be willing to face challenges and overcome them with ease. There will always be someone waiting round the corner to overpower and defeat us if we are weak. My dear students, now let me discuss 3 questions from long answer questions section. First question. Discuss why you consider Wind and The Road Not Taken as symbolic poems. Answer. Poems are read for enjoyment and to enjoy nature or lives as seen from the eyes of the poet. Poems can also convey a message to its readers. In The Wind, the poet appeals to us to be mentally and physically strong so that we can combat all opposing forces, be strong to vanquish and not be vanquished. The poet here shows how the wind breaks down all weak structures and extinguishes weak fires, but when it faces strong fires, it simply assists to burn more brightly. The poet suggests that men should befriend the wind instead of shying away from its onslaught. On the other hand, in The Road Not Taken, the poet, when faced with a problem, ponders over the situation for a long time. He weighs the pros and cons and then finally makes a decision that would be deciding his future life. The 2 poems are symbolic as both are dealing with the state of mind of the individual. The strength of the wind and the strength of our decisions will assess our strength as human beings. Question number 2. What damage did the wind cause? How can this be avoided? Answer. The wind causes a lot of destruction. It breaks the shutters of the windows, scatters the papers and throws the books from the shelves. It even breaks the doors, rafters, trees, man and man's hearts by causing suffering. This can be avoided only if man rises against all negative elements. In the poem Wind, man can only overcome adversity if and when it makes friends with the wind. Man must make himself strong both mentally and physically so that in the face of any challenge he can come out strong. The poet suggests that we must make wind our friend, by which he suggests that we should develop the ability and confidence to extract the positive from the negative and transform it for the larger good. Question number 3. The poet is a great lover of mankind. Justify with reference to the poem Wind. Answer. In the poem Wind, the poet wants every human being, especially who are weak, to become strong physically and mentally. The poet wants them to be bold enough to face any difficult challenges that come in their life. Just like if we have strong houses, we can keep ourselves safe in it. In the same manner, If we have strong heart, we can face any difficult challenges of life. People who are weak get defeated by their problems of life. The poet wants everyone to make their life happy by facing the challenges of life. The poet's thoughts for mankind prove that he is a great lover of mankind. My dear students, this concludes my class. I request all of you to listen to the audio content carefully, and in case you have any problem, you can convey the same to me. Thank you very much.